Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Just wanted to take a couple minutes and go over the two loan scenarios that I sent to you. Again, those are in the email attachment. But basically, in the first scenario is a FHA 30-year fix. This is the one that I have you guys pre-approved for. And just kind of going down the sheet here, you can see that the purchase price is $495,000 with a 10% down payment, which is $49,500, and then the base loan amount comes out to $445,500. Now with FHA, they have what's called an upfront mortgage insurance premium that gets financed back on top of the base loan amount. That figure is $7,796. So with the FHA scenario, you're actually going to finance $453,296, and then again, that's at an interest rate of 4.5%. Estimated APR we can come back to, but this is not what your monthly payments based off of. It takes into account the interest rate along with the closing costs turned back into a percentage form. So you can also see, just going down the sheet here, monthly mortgage payment of $2,996.79. That's the principal and interest payment, plus the mortgage insurance. Monthly mortgage insurance on the FHA scenario would be $479.09. And again, keep in mind, mortgage insurance is on the loan. Anytime that we don't have at least a 20% down payment, you're going to have some type of mortgage insurance on the loan. So property taxes, just pulled those off the county site, so that annual figure breaks down to $412.50 a month. And then homeowners insurance, right now I'm just estimating, I might be overestimating, but I'm estimating that at $1,200 a year, and then breaking that down monthly would be $100 in the monthly payment. So the total monthly payment for the FHA scenario would be $3,288.37, and again that incorporates all the costs involved as far as property taxes, homeowners insurance, and everything. So just going down the scenario here, next box is the closing cost section. I called and talked to First American Title. They have the title insurance premium would be $733. And again, title insurance is basically making sure that you have a clear title to the property when you take it over. They'll make you aware of any easements, any little things that we may not know about, just looking at the property, or would come back on the appraisal report. So also talked to them about the escrow fee. $947 is what they'd be charging for escrow, and basically what escrow would be is where we send all the final loan documents. You'll go there, sign them, they notarize them. They also take care of wiring the funds to and from everybody's account, so just really like a closing attorney. Wire fee, $30, which basically is on cue, just recovering the money for wiring the loan proceeds to an outside escrow company. Appraisal fee, pretty standard, $535 for like an FHA appraisal in the area. Credit report, $23. So right now we have the credit report that we use for your pre-approval. And then just before closing, we'll do what's called a credit refresh. It doesn't impact your scores. We don't get any scores back. It also will not show as a credit inquiry. But basically just make sure that the snapshot that we're making the loan on is still, basically where you're at the end. So, not purchasing any new cars or charging up any credit accounts or any other inquiries from another company. Anything there, we just ask you to address at closing. So, processing fee of $985. This is basically how OnQ Financial gets paid. Pretty standard in the industry right now to see processing fee. You might even see like an underwriting application fee. Some companies may even break up their fees between 2 or 3 different lines there. We just include all ours on one line at $985. So estimated recording fee, right now I typically estimate at $200 for King Snohomish County. More than likely that fee will come in around $180, $185, but I'd like to leave a little bit of wiggle room there just in case. So total closing costs for the FHA transaction would be $3,452. Again, just a total of all the different third-party fees involved. Moving down here to the prepaid items section. In-term interest, what that is basically the days of the month left in closing. So if we close on the 15th day of a 30-day month, then we would have 15 days of in-term interest. I always quote 15 days unless we have a specific closing date. and then it would be however many days are left in the month, get you into the normal billing cycle. So if we close at the end of November, your first payment wouldn't be due until January 1st, and as you know, you always pay interest on the money that you use versus the money that you're going to use. So estimated property taxes, I always quote 6 months in there. Sometimes it might be 4, sometimes it might be 5. We're kind of like in that period of 4 to 5 months, but again, just like to have 6 months in there. What that does is it pre-funds your escrow account. So as you're making your monthly payment, that $412 will be set aside in your escrow account, and then when the property taxes become due in April and October, as you know, then there's enough in there just to pay those statements in full. So again, the same thing with the homeowners insurance. $1,200 again is what I'm estimating, and then they'll collect roughly 1 to 2 months at closing just to pre-fund that escrow account. So then as you're making your payments throughout the year, when that insurance premium comes due the following year, there's enough in there just to pay it in full. So that kind of wraps it up for the prepaid items. So $4,713 for the prepaids, and those will fluctuate just depending on what day of the month we close. And then you'll let us know who you want to use for your homeowner's insurance. We'll contact them once the appraisal is completed and set up the insurance binder, get the premium, everything like that. So you're definitely look around, and then you can always let me know kind of what you're coming up with for the premium, and I can update these figures as well. So bottom box is basically just the totals of everything. So 10% down payment, closing costs $3,452, and then the prepaid items at $4,713. So total closing for this FHA transaction would be $57,666. So the second scenario is for a conventional, what we call a conventional high balance. It's anything financed between $417,000 and $506,000 in Kingston, Homish, and Pierce County. So again, purchase price $495,000, doing 10% down payment. In this scenario, the total loan amount would be $445,500. But with FHA, with conventional, unlike FHA, they have what's called loan level pricing adjustments. So by the time we get done pricing everything out, we'd be looking at 5.25% interest on the conventional option. So, and the APR, because the interest rate's higher, it's going to look a little bit higher than what it is on the FHA option. So, again, that's just taking certain closing costs and the interest rate and turning it into a percentage form. It's not what your monthly payment's based off of. So, in the conventional scenario, you can see that the principal and interest would be a little bit higher than it would be on FHA. Mortgage insurance is pretty comparable, and then the same for the property taxes, homeowners insurance. So in the conventional scenario, total monthly payment would be $3,455.19. A little bit higher than it is on the FHA scenario. Biggest difference being the principal and interest amount. So closing costs basically all the same. Again, title insurance, escrow, everything. Like I said, it's pretty much the same there. So, and then when you get into the prepaid section, again, the days of interest would be a little bit more just because the daily use of the money is a little bit higher because of the 5.25 interest rate. So when you total everything up here, down payment, closing costs, prepaids, roughly about the same. For cash for closing, $57,859 right there at the bottom. So the big differences are with FHA, the main thing to focus on would be the mortgage insurance. And with FHA, if you're doing 10% or more down, then the mortgage insurance can be removed once you have paid down the loan balance by 20%. So on conventional, the mortgage insurance can be removed as well once you have paid down the loan balance by 20%. Or in the first 2 to 5 years, if you have a 25% equity position, you can request for the mortgage insurance to be removed. Or after the 5th year, then the 20% rule kicks in. And again, I'll have an attachment in there as well, so you can kind of see exactly what the mortgage insurance requirements are to be removed on conventional. So the big thing is I can look at doing the conventional approval, but just wanted to send you two side-by-side scenarios so you guys can kind of take a look, see what one fit your needs better, and then we can discuss everything from there. So hope this is a little bit useful, explaining some of the different fees and costs involved. But any questions, definitely give me a call. I appreciate it.